So my role sits within a part of the organization called Consumer Experience. So it covers everything from the Spotify mobile app through all of our other consumer platforms. And we need to make sure that the experience that we are creating and designing for them feels consistent, no matter who it is inside the organization that has kind of designed and built that part of the product. So my team actually has to act as kind of stewards for the user experience, in that they need to support other designers around the organization, both through the design system, but also just in our kind of ways of collaborating on a day-to-day basis. The key values I would say I'm bringing, one of them is freshness. So it's easy for our users to get stuck in habits on Spotify and kind of fall back to listening to the same thing that they always listen to. So we're always looking to help users discover something new on Spotify. And I think one way we can do that is through freshness of both our playlists, but all the different content types that we can bring to you. So the other thing I think a lot about is intuitive. So we want the interface to feel very intuitive for users. And by that, I mean it feels natural to use. It's not something that you have to learn how to use. So everything inside of Spotify should feel like what you would expect to happen. So when you go in to play and the features that are available there to you in terms of skipping or repeating or shuffling, there is a sort of human aspect to the design and to the app experience that we hope at least makes it feel really natural to use for our users. And I think there's a couple different kind of mindsets that we need to consider. So you're either in a discovery mindset or a retrieval mindset. So we want to cater to both of those moments for our users. So if you're in more of a discovery mindset, I think podcasts are a really good example for that. You're probably more inclined to kind of go into a feed and scroll around a little bit and see if there's something interesting that it hadn't come across your radar before. So in that discovery mindset, that's when we really want to catch you and make sure that we're getting a recommendation in front of you that's relevant for you. But then there's this other mindset of users coming in where they know exactly what they want to listen to. Maybe they've saved a podcast episode earlier that day, it's waiting for them, it's saved in their library, and we can surface that for them in their shortcuts or through merchandising on home, and they have it instantly available to tap on and start listening. So it kind of is two different paths that we want to enable, and it's important for us to be able to serve both of those user types and user needs. So yeah, in an ideal world, someone would open up the app and get a recommendation presented to them that's the perfect recommendation for the moment they're in, and they can just hit play, put the phone away in their pocket, and go about their business. A failure is a success in some ways because we're learning what people do not want. So it's actually, we learn quite a bit from tests that I guess you could say fail or, they have negative outcomes. So, I think we approach that in a variety of ways. And so we're kind of tweaking as we go and ultimately iterating ourselves towards a much better product then, where now, generally users are quite happy with the outcomes of this feature. So it's a failure, but then it ultimately gets us to a place where we can actually launch the feature.